squared.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Do you guys see why it's x squared? You did two x's.
X times x is x squared. Okay, now I'm going to do negative 1 times 4x is negative 4x, and negative 1 times negative 3 is positive 3. Okay, now let's look at which ones are like terms. Is there any other x cubes? So that was it. Are there any x squareds? So I've got negative 6x squared and positive 20x squared. So 20 minus 6 gives me 14x squared. Okay. Are there any x's by themselves?
15.
We've got 15, negative 15x, and negative 4x, which gives me negative 19x. Is there any numbers by themselves? Just 3, so we just put 3. Okay, let's do another one of these, but let's do it together instead of me just doing it. We've got 3x squared plus 2x minus 1 times x minus 2. Okay, what did I leave off with? As far as, so Jalen, what two numbers do I multiply first together? Jalen. Okay, and where am I going? X. So what does that give you? What's 3x squared times x? 3 times 1 is x squared times x is x to the 3. Okay. What do I do next, Christian? Well, give me your guess. We multiplied it by this one. Now I'm going to multiply this by negative 2. What's 3 times negative 2? 3 times 2 is, and a positive times a negative is a? Yes. Negative 6, and then don't forget to put the x squared at the end. Okay. All right. Shelby, what do I multiply next? 2x by x, and what does that give us, Shelby? Plus 2x squared. Good. Aaron, what do I do next? I multiplied it just by this one. What do I have to multiply that middle one by 2? Also. I have to take this one right here, that term, 2x. I multiplied it by the first term. Okay, so what am I going to get? 2x times negative 2 gives us negative 4x. Okay. You ready, Elena? We're on our last term. So what am I going to do? And what is that going to give us, Elena? Negative 1x. Okay? So, Tabitha, I multiplied negative 1 by x. What else do I have to multiply by? And what is that going to give us, Tabitha? Negative 1 times negative 2 is a positive 2. Okay. Taylor, are there any others with x cubed next to them? So I'm just going to rewrite that. Taylor, is there any with x squareds next to them? Which ones? And what's negative 6 plus 2? Negative 4x squared. Good. Okay, Cheyenne, are there any x's? Which ones? Okay, so if I put those two together, what would I get? Negative 5. Okay. And then I just have the 2 at the end.
I think as long as you guys remember that when you're multiplying, you add the exponents, but when you're adding them, you keep the terms the same.
You're just adding the numbers in front, the big ones. Okay, last part, guys. Gotta FOIL. So FOIL stands for first do this real quick with just random letters. Okay. Can somebody tell me what the first two letters they think would be? It would be A and C, because they're the first in each parentheses. If those are the first two letters, which two letters would be the outside letters? It would be A and D, because they're on the outside of the whole problem. Now, which ones would be the inside of the problem? B and C, good. Okay, which two would be the last ones? B and D. Okay, when we draw it, I usually make it look like this. A to C, that's our first. O, our outside. I, our inside. And L, our last. Okay? This is the most common thing you're going to see. You're going to see this again in geometry. You're going to see this again in Algebra 2. And they're going to say, oh, you FOIL them, you FOIL them. So you've got to know what that means. So let's try this problem now with the two numbers that we have, the two polynomials. We've got 3a plus 4 times a minus 2. Okay, so first I'm going to do first. That's this number here and this number here. That's my first. That's going to be 3a squared. Now I'm going to do the outside ones. That's 3a times 2. That's outside. That's negative 6a. Now I'm going to do my inside ones, which is 4 and a. So it's 4a. Then I'm going to do the last ones. 4 times negative 2, which is negative 8. Okay? Which ones are the like terms for these? 6 and 4. So I get 3a squared minus 2a, because negative 6a plus 4a is negative 2a, minus 8. And we're done. Okay? Yusuf, I'm going to ask you a question in just a second, so be ready. So we're going to FOIL for the next one. 2x plus 2 times x plus 2. Yusuf, which are my first terms?
2x.
And what is 2x times x? 2x to the 2. Alright. Kirsten, which ones are my outside ones?
2x and 2.
2x and 2 is the outside. And that's going to be what? 2x times 2 is 4x. Okay. Naja, which ones are the inside ones?
2x.
And 2 times x is 2x. Okay. Ty, which ones are the last ones? 2 and the 2, and what's 2 times 2? Bruce, which ones are alike that I'm going to put together? Which gives me what? Plus. And Bruce, how did I know that it was plus? That plus sign between them. Okay? If there was nothing in between them, if there was a dot or parentheses, that's how you know if it's times. Any questions about foiling, the table horizontal or vertical method. Okay, we're going to put up your writing.